Kentucky Fried Chicken ran out of chicken, but instead of hiding from it, they turned it into one of the greatest ads of all time. How do they do that? By turning failure into honesty, into an honest moment. Relatable. What's up? Eddie Babine here with another reaction. Today we're going to be looking at the Kentucky Fried Chicken ad that ran in the UK. We're changing things up a little bit. It's not an actual commercial. It was a campaign that they had to run as an apology. That wasn't even an apology. It was actually pretty genius what they did, and it turned out to be one of the most relatable, smartest ways to say sorry without saying sorry. It was very, very brilliant, actually. So let's watch, shall we?
Humiliating sight for one of the country's biggest food brands.
Hundreds of Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurants across the UK were forced to shut down over the weekend.
My first reaction, in all honesty, was, "You want me to write fuck on a bucket?"
Brilliant, hilarious, right? That's actually the perfect reaction to this. Like, I'm sorry, you want me to do what now? Okay, because I've been in plenty of these meetings, and that's not something that they would typically do. But kudos to them for recognizing, hey, listen, we are a chicken company and we ran out of chicken. We got to do something. So let's keep watching.
We knew that it was very serious. So by that moment, when we locked ourselves in a room, to coming up with it, it was literally 24 hours.
Like, we've tweaked the copy a bit, but have a look again. And my second reaction was, seriously, you want me to turn my brand into a swear word? We put it under the nose of one of our lawyers, and she just instantly smiled. And we just knew people were going to smile at this.
People are going to smile about this, she said. Remember what we talked about here. Advertising is nothing more than creative problem solving, right? It's creative storytelling that solves the problem, I should say, right? And what she say right there, people are going to smile by this. But what we also say, a great ad evokes an emotion, right? Whether that's happiness or sadness or empathy or laughter or whatever it is, it's supposed to evoke an emotion. And the reaction they received were smiles, and they're smart, and I'll tell you why in a second.
We know this guy so well now, and we knew that the last thing they would want to do at that moment is to put out a very robotic corporate message. I'm in the firm belief that they would have preferred to do nothing than to put something that is uncharacteristic. And we've seen so many of those bad ads. In my humble opinion, they make the situation worse.
1,000,000%. I totally agree with that. People, listen, so what are we talking about here? What is the actual insight? This is what we talk about here, right? We break down great ads and bad ads through the lens of human behavior and insights and everything. What is the insight here, right? People are very forgiving if an apology feels genuine, like genuinely feels genuine, right? To be repetitive, but that's really what it is. Notice that KFC did not come out and say, we apologize for the convenience. They didn't come up with some corporate language. They didn't come up with any excuses. They didn't, indirectly point fingers at distributors or, say somebody dropped the ball or, give some just nonsense that no one believes. Instead, they just said, fuck. I don't want to say just in case this video gets blocked or whatever, right? But instead they said what everyone says, right? It's happened to everybody, right? Drop something, you're like, first reaction, and this reminds me very much of my childhood, not running out of chicken, but, my dad, God rest his soul, used to always say, Eddie, if you make a mistake, it's okay. You're human. Mistakes happen. I just want you to be honest about it. Tell me what happened, and I won't be upset. But if you lie to me, or I find out something, what you said wasn't exactly the truth, or I find out something different later, I'm gonna be very upset. And that always stuck with me. And this is why this works so well, right? Listen, things happen. As ridiculous as it sounds for a chicken company to run out of chicken, similar to Burger King ran out of burgers, right? But they're just like, hey, you know what? I'm so sorry. I can't believe that happened, but it did happen. So what it does is just, they freaking owned it, right? They didn't keep it corporate. They kept it real, which is what makes this absolutely brilliant. Let's keep watching.
And luckily for us, again, the British have such a knack for a sense of humor. They love to make light of situations. They use swear in a very sophisticated way.
What we needed at that time was something that showed vulnerably, I guess, us as humans and showed the humanity that sits within the brand. I guess I articulate it as we are extraordinarily lucky, I think, as marketers working in KFC and in Yum, that Yum believe that if you want the best work and you want the best talent creating the best work, you need the teams that are on the ground, that are close to the customer and close to the cultural context, empowered and autonomous to make the right decisions for their market. And so that's what you do get around the world, which is local teams making brand decisions and advertising decisions and communications decisions that are right for their customers and their markets.
But in times of crisis, maybe it's a good idea to call your agencies as well as your lawyers.
I agree.
Absolutely brilliant.
You're right.
Like I said, this is just this. One of the I don't know if you caught it, but there was one of the tweets on there said this is a masterclass in PR management. I could not agree more. Again, we talk about insights here, right? What is the real human insight here? People forgive mistakes instantly, virtually instantly, most of the time, if you acknowledge them the way a human would. They made a mistake, right? To err is human, to forgive is divine, right? That's the saying there. They made a mistake. They owned up to it. Again, they didn't point fingers and they didn't go corporate. They just kept it real. Brilliant. And again, it's very simple messaging, right? What we talk about here, benefit. What's in it for the consumer? Well, the consumer is receiving not only it's an indirect apology, but they're owning up to it. So people want to, when they're patronizing a restaurant or whatever it is, they want to feel like there's an alignment there a lot of the time, right? So when they see, you know what, hey, I've done that. I know I do. I was supposed to go to the store to buy popcorn and bought everything but popcorn. I didn't blame the cashier. I didn't blame the not being in stock. I was like, crap, I forgot. To be honest, I completely forgot. So anyway, that's it. That's all I got for you today. KFC pot campaign, absolutely brilliant, and just the sheer brilliance and simplicity. So it's good for you. This way. Sorry, KFC. Right? I switched 2 letters around. So they got the message across without actually using the full word. So that allowed the legal department to not be not get their I get really upset. But in any case, that's what I got. Any final notes? I said, they turned brand failure into a relatable moment. Yeah, that's genius. So anyway, that's all I got for today. My course is coming out like literally next week. Super excited about it. So stay tuned. If you have any questions, holler at your boy. Like, subscribe, comment. Tell me if there's any ads you want me to review, and I will be happy to do so. All right. Talk to you soon. Eddie the Madman out.